Hey everybody, it's hwsteele. Today is May 3rd, 2023, and this video is the part 2 of the Dow Jones Industrial Average Annual Forecast video that I did back in mid-March of this year. We're going to see how that forecast turned out. Before we get to that, though, I want to make a really quick announcement that doesn't actually affect you too much. Over the last few weeks, I've been working on, in my spare time, that's a laugh right there. But anyway, I've been working on building a brand new computer. And so I can have the processing power I need to run all the modern stuff, including some editing software that will eliminate background noise. One of the reasons I haven't been recording as many videos as I have in the past is because where I live now for the last couple of years, very beautiful area, nice neighborhood and all that good stuff, but there's a lot of trees right outside my office window, and it's on the back side of the house, and my wife puts all kinds of food in the backyard, so there's squirrels and about 1,000 different birds, so there's all kinds of noise coming from the back, and it makes it through our supposedly noise-reducing windows. But regardless, I'll be able to cut out all that background noise. At least that's what the software promises me. I haven't had a chance to test it out yet. So that means I will probably be recording more videos in the future, since that one massively major hurdle of enormous amounts of background noise won't be much of anything for me to deal with. I'll be able to deal with it technologically as opposed to actually having to wait for the noise to stop. So anyway, like I said, it's not going to make much of a difference to you guys, but to me it will be a tremendous relief once all that stuff is done with the new computer. So I digress. Let me go ahead and get to how well this annual forecast did. Now, if you'll remember, I put out a video somewhere in mid-March. I don't remember the exact day. I think it might have been the 17th or the 18th is when I recorded and released the video. And I had, from the beginning of 2023, outlined the forecast, how well it had worked up to that point, which it did pretty decently. And then I put some points into the future to forecast, and I'm going to put those points back on the Dow Jones Industrial Average here so we can see how well they did. And if you want to check to make sure I'm using the same dates, of course, you can just go back and look at that video there. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you where I got these dates from, how I created this forecast, or I should say borrowed it. And you'll see what I mean in a second. So let's look at these dates here. We had a low for March 14th. We'll start with that. March 14th is right there. And the high was supposed to be March 20th, which is right here. So we're going to go through this, or I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to use 100% precision, which means I'm not going to push forward or pull back any days. So whatever it lands on, whatever the forecast was, that's how we're going to look at it to consider whether or not it was a good forecast or a failure. And this particular one right here, the bottom is definitely lower than the top, so this is a good forecasted swing right here. Obviously, it missed the top by a day or two, but it was decent. So the 20th was a forecasted high, and that was supposed to go down to the 28th, which is right there. And we can see that this right here is ever so slightly lower than this right here, which means this is a bad forecast right there. It's pretty much break even. The market moved up and it moved down and it moved back up, all in between this swing forecasted right here. So we'll have to consider that a bad forecast. Even if we pulled back a day, it would still essentially just be break even. We'd have to pull back 2 days to make it look good. And I definitely don't want to do that. So we had the low on the 28th of March and then a high on April 3rd. And this was a good swing forecast right there. That turned out very well. Then from the April 3rd down to April 12th. The 12th is right there. Now this one's not particularly impressive right here, but this high is ever so slightly higher than this low, so we'll consider it good, but the reality is that it's not much better at all than this right here, right? So from this low, let's see, we're looking for April 22nd was the high forecasted, and that's Saturday, so the 21st right there, lands on the 21st, and the 21st right there is the market definitely moves up. It's not the perfect top right there, but I mean, it's definitely higher, so we'll consider that a good swing. And then we go from there to a low. Let's see, the 21st, which is actually 22nd, down to the 27th, 26, 27. So that's a decent swing there. And then from the 27th up to May 4th, which is, of course, tomorrow. So we still don't know. The market has not just been moving up nice and steadily. It went up and then it came back down. So do we finish above this low or what? We'll have to wait and see for the next day or two. Today is when I had the time to go ahead and do this video, so it will be a day early, but I'm sure you can check the market out tomorrow for yourself to see how well this particular swing did. So if you look back at the previous video, you'll see that from the beginning of the year up until this point, the market or the forecast did pretty well in catching all the swings. This part of the forecast right here, it didn't do very well here, and it didn't do very well there. The rest of it's decent, at least possibly this one we might see. If we keep moving down, obviously that one won't be decent. But so what I find very interesting is a lot of the times when a forecast, an annual forecast doesn't work out, it doesn't work out at these parts right here. You see how strong a move this is? When you're forecasting, you have 2 or 3 turns in an area like this, that's pretty easy to make look good because that's all just repetitive price action right there. The price is moving up and down over the same area, so you can make just about anything fit in there pretty decently. But moves like this, those are much harder. But so far, this forecast, you can look back at the previous video, or I'm about to show you the dates for the entire year of the forecast, and you can just go from that. So far, this forecast has done very well for the big moves, forecasting that, and the failures have shown up in the consolidations, which is kind of a head scratcher, statistically speaking. So, where did this forecast come from? Well, there actually was a person or two in the previous video who, in the comments section, put 1929 in there. And sure enough, all of these dates are from the 1929 Annual Stock Forecast, projected curve number 1. So if you want to run this forecast out to the end of the year, this is the forecast right here. And you can download this from a lot of different places online. Just do a search for it, and I'm sure you'll be able to find it very easily. Until next time, this is hwsteele, and I'll talk to you in the next video.